Welcome to the Underground, the Steel City Underground, the black and gold standard for Pittsburgh Steelers coverage. Now, here's your host, Joe Kuzma and Brian E. Roach.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Steel City Underground podcast. My name's Joe Kuzma. Flanking me to my side, Mr. Brian E. Roach. Brian, it's been a week since you and I have gotten together. It's probably better that we haven't been together for a week. We got a lot of things to say, a lot of things to catch up on as the Steelers, they're now 11-0, unbeaten with a 19-14 win over a Baltimore Ravens team that when we last convened, we thought they were going to be playing about a week ago. How you doing,
just
my friend?
about.
Yeah, just about.
I got some grievances. I got some Festivus grievances this time around. I'm not thrilled, but I'm 11-0. What more can I say? We're 11-0. I can't, if I yell what the hell is that?
So Brian's got to throw his bobblehead out on the video, and I found this Steelers
that
Pez
looks
dispenser.
exactly like you, by the way.
It does. It bears a really cool resemblance. The eyes and the eye black. It's a Funko Pop with the little Steelers beanie on it. It's got like the little itty bitty like 2 centimeter Steelers logo on it. So I thought I would celebrate. And I don't know. Your guy can bobble. Mine can do this. He could just.
Yours spits out candy that tastes like chalk.
Yeah, well, my kid doesn't think it tastes like chalk. We found cola-flavored Pez. She was super excited about that. Sugar for her. I've also got the proper mug here, the frosted Steelers mug, which I will partake a little sip of. You could tell there's a clear beverage. It is not vodka. So I got, as usual, I got to roll with TJ Watt. I think that was a good decision. You're still 11-0 now at number 11. Chase Claypool didn't do enough for me. I lost my fantasy game by 6 points with the Steelers D. I had, the Claypool. He's got a Deadpool Claypool t-shirt too. All done up. I go all out for game days. You know what I mean?
I'm not showing you my underwear.
No, I don't want to see your underwear. I got the socks.
You
I got
do.
everything but the
I know
underwear.
you do.
I don't have Steelers underwear, but I am color coordinated. I'll let you know that much. So
there you go.
Anyways, it's not hard to do when it's black and gold. Now, if you had crappy colors like a brown or an orange mix, then it's probably harder. Well, maybe with the underwear you can get some type of match. Maybe not the way you would want to. But speaking of those colors, that's
I gotta go back to my Carhartt hat. By the way, I can't. This is great. I love this hat. It's fun, but I can't wear it. It's too hot.
Oh, he's got the leather head. When Brian played back in the day, the old 30 styles, not the boxing to put up your dukes, the leatherhead helmet, but it may as well have been wearing those.
That was why I put it on.
You know what? Let's talk about even getting to this game. I know there were some issues and concerns with player safety. Yeah, we don't want everyone breathing all over and spitting all over all of our players and getting them sick. But on the flip side, there is definitely a perception that we didn't get to talk about here with the NFL showing some favoritism towards the Baltimore Ravens and could have maybe worked out in their favor. They had to get practice time in to stretch, Brian. Not that the Steelers would have needed something like that. With obviously, we're hoping nothing serious with Bud Dupree. Marquise Pouncey now on the list before the game. So now you got a guy, J.C. Hassenauer, playing center that
not well.
Not well and not prepared. Well, granted, it's still Baltimore,
Yeah, but it still was not. It was not pretty.
No, it wasn't. He missed some major blocks in different spots. And if you notice when Kevin Dotson got out there, they were running the ball a little bit better. And they ran to his side, which was smart, even though I don't know what kind of experience he has playing right tackle. But, again, impressed by
grown-ass young man. He's a grown-ass young man.
Very much so. Benny Snell, 16 for 60. But, no, just rewinding as this game went from Thursday, a short week where you felt the Steelers had the advantage without all the COVID stuff that we didn't know Lamar Jackson was going on the COVID list prior. We didn't know all these other things. Jeez, man, you're a monster. You're like Cam Hayward.
Grown-ass young man.
Monster. He's got the Kevin Dotson jersey already signed.
Oh, yeah.
from our friends at. Well, I'm not gonna.
Don't plug them.
That's fine. Sorry, no offense, but we're not paid for that advertisement, so we're not always giving things away for free here.
They got my money for the jersey, so it's okay.
The Carhartt hat is a whole different experience. So
yeah.
Anyways, Thursday to Sunday, a little more palatable. Still PO'd on it. Like I know they're not going to play Friday, Saturday. They don't want to ever get up against college football or anything like that. The short week, I thought, gave Baltimore an advantage, gave them rest where the Steelers were already prepared, and I thought the Steelers, Lamar Jackson, the running backs, anything else, regardless, were going to steamroll this team. Now you basically put them into a bye week situation where we know they come out flat from that. It's cold. If you've ever been to Heinz Field in December, that was like 20-some degrees, whatever the real feel, that afternoon shade that hits the one side of the stadium. You could see their breath. These guys haven't been really playing in that weather, to my knowledge. They just came back from Jacksonville, Florida, for example. Yep. They've been playing in places like Dallas that has a dome stadium. So, Tennessee, warm weather, they haven't had to play in cold yet. This is their first cold weather kind of experience, and I think the same things happen here where guys are cramping, pulling things of that nature. And I just felt that when they went to Tuesday, not only was that a little bit of a cop-out, but then they went to Wednesday. And for some reason, in both of these circumstances, the Steelers, they do get their game moved with we can't call them the Redskins anymore.
The football team.
They're the football team or the product or the thing or whatever. And, that game, okay, they finally said, okay, we'll move it to Monday. And then they moved the Ravens game back an additional day. The Ravens got to travel. Well, cry me a river. I'm perturbed with it. It just looks like favoritism when they moved it back Wednesday to this Wednesday 3:40. Not only did they move it from Thursday, where now with the Governor Wolf mandates in Pennsylvania and losing fans for this game, which is a pretty big deal. It was going to be the Thanksgiving game, color rush jerseys, prime time, big lights, bright lights. Big city, fancy cars, fast women. I'm sorry, I'm getting into my Ric Flair mode.
Fast women?
Yeah, or slow, whichever ones you can.
Well,
catch.
I don't know. There was some woman in the game screeching her head off. I don't know who it was, but she was a screeching at the end of that game.
That was probably Mama Watt. There's only
could have been. Yeah, somebody's wife, mother, sister was definitely losing their poop.
It was Mama Watt. She was tired of seeing her baby boy
TJ get held
on every single play. Got tackled on the one. They finally called it. Amazing.
Yes,
we're going there. We'll go there eventually. But I'm setting up the situation in the story, and Hairball getting some of his guys back, and when they flew in and they finally got the plane on the ground, and boo-hoo. It seems like they got like 2 walkthroughs or whatever where Mike Tomlin was trying to manage. How do you manage this within a CBA where you're only supposed to have so many practices and this, that, and the other thing? The Steelers are getting royally screwed there, where the Ravens aren't practicing because they were completely shut down. And you know what? I would say, and not that I'm a big fan of Roger Goodell and the NFL and the league office on how they handle many things, but there is a sort of hypocrisy that we didn't talk about. Terry got to talk about it on the WTF. Kendall Hinton, is that his name? The practice squad wide receiver. You probably don't know, from the Denver Broncos.
Don't care. Oh, that guy. Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, so they
who had to play quarterback. Yeah.
Yeah, because one guy was tested positive. The other 3 got
close contacts.
Someone narked on him for not wearing a mask for like 5 minutes or something in a group where they were together, and all of a sudden they made them a higher risk, and they pulled him. And Vic Fangio, their head coach, had 4 hours, is what was reported when he was asked. 4 hours to prepare this guy who played quarterback for Wake Forest to play quarterback in the NFL. Against the Saints, no. It's not like the Saints are, just bums. I understand they don't have Drew Brees, but that defense is a pretty strong defense too. That blows my mind that they wouldn't allow the quarterbacks coach, the equivalent of Matt Canada, is it Calabrese or something like that? That's his name.
To play.
They wouldn't let him play. There's some player union thing. He probably know the playbook. He probably got killed anyways. There were some good points on XM radio about Brady Quinn was talking about these, and I forget who else was with him doing the the show. He's the color kind of guy, and then it was like one of the normal guys. I forget. I think he does the Giants play-by-play. But anyways, it'll come to my head later. And he's talking about how it's just dangerous for wide receivers maybe laying out for some of these ducks that are being thrown around and everything like that. Oh, we're worried about player safety. You couldn't have bumped that game back a day. And all those guys tested negative, according to PR with the Broncos. You couldn't have moved that back a day or two for those guys? Like,
here's the explanation. You ready?
For the Ravens.
Yeah, there's no Lamar Jackson on the Denver Broncos. There is no future of the NFL being broadcast. There is no cover star for Madden on that team. So it's about the money, and it's about that nonsense. And I don't care. They could tell me it's all about player safety all they want. They could tell me they hadn't finished contact tracing all they want. They could tell me any damn thing they want. There's no reason this game couldn't have been played Sunday in my mind. There's no reason this game couldn't have been played Tuesday in my mind. And there is no reason that the Broncos game couldn't have been pushed. But because there's an inconsistency there. I don't know how many times I got to say it. All I want is consistency, and I can't get that with anything NFL related. I can't get consistency with the league. I can't get it with the rest. I can't get consistency. All I want is consistency. If it's not supposed to be about competition and fairness, well, that was proved with the lovely Broncos game. But it sure didn't seem like that was the case with the Ravens. It was like, oh, well, okay. And I get it. You scream and holler about, we got to do the tracing, and the doctors are saying this. I don't buy it. Goodell's down in his, villain's lair, making, some kind of, evil concoction. And then I'm, by the way, Al Riveron, I don't know if it's been reported. I think he has COVID.
Why? Because the Steelers want to challenge?
Because they want to challenge. There's no other explanation. He must have COVID. He's not there. He was isolated and quarantined, and somebody else made that call.
Well, just before I finish this thought and we get into some of the plays and some of the game here, Steelers playing on a Monday night. They got a 1 o'clock game moved to 5 o'clock, so they get 24 hours extra or whatever. The Ravens play at 8:15 or 8:05 on a Tuesday.
Yeah, that's crap.
I know
that's
they
what
were
that
supposed
is.
to play
it's
Thursday.
Crap.
I know they were supposed to play Thursday, and then they get their mini bye, so they were going a full week, and the Cowboys were going the full week, and the Cowboys got screwed out of this too. And now they got to play Tuesday, and then they're
who cares about the Cowboys?
No, nobody cares about it. But how about protecting the team that's now 11-0? And
there's no desire for
all
that.
Over the world. I don't understand it.
They don't want to protect that team.
Baltimore isn't that. Okay, Baltimore probably is a bigger market. Baltimore, you got D.C., Virginia, that area. Probably part of Philly. There might be some people that are, masochists and don't like the Eagles. Well, I don't know.
I live there. No.
But
they're not Baltimore. There are there are more Steelers fans here than there are Baltimore fans here.
Well, that's true all over. It's a Steelers world, but it's Steelers Nation. I don't get it. I'm going to get off my high horse on this one. It's unfortunate the Steelers have to play like 3 games in like 12 days now. So you go from, they're getting all this rest and this and that. And it's like, yeah. And now they're going to suffer the same type of things that they were worried about with stretching. Maybe Bud Dupree. I don't know. I haven't seen anything yet official when it comes to Big Bud. But my guess was a quad. Could be hamstring.
I'm counting the 3 games in 12 days. I'm not concerned. Why am I not concerned? Happens all the damn time.
No, you know why I am concerned? Marquise Pouncey today.
It's a problem. I'm not saying it's not a problem,
but on and off. I mean, if they got to go into Buffalo and he's not off that list, it will be. I think. Do we know that he tested positive, or do we just know they put him on the list? Now, see, I didn't see anything official. I think it was just on the list, but somebody on radio had said tested positive.
Yeah, I don't trust the people on radio.
But then again, it's like they were, it was an Adam Schefter tweet or something else like that. So, oh no. So I'll take you this. I just got Mark Cabali. Not even a minute ago. Initial tests for Bud Dupree indicate a torn ACL.
Oh.
Tests coming to confirm the team
brutal.
expects him to be lost for the season.
56. 56. Your time is now, my friend.
Yeah, but he just said, but what's he saying Mike Tomlin's presser for? So I don't know. I didn't quite catch anything about Dupree. What did Mike Tomlin say in the presser about Dupree? I didn't catch that specific.
No, I haven't
part
had
of
a chance
it,
to watch it yet.
No, I listened to. I was listening, but I caught in on some of the beat writers' stuff. So, anyways, yeah, that would be really bad.
That sucks.
If it's an ACL. I wasn't thinking that serious because you tear an ACL. I don't think he's sitting there kicking his legs like a toddler on their belly, throwing a tantrum, and I don't think he gets up and walks. So that was the last thing I was thinking. I was thinking something that was a different a muscle rather than ligaments there. And yeah, now you're taking it away from this defense even more. Not that they can't handle these other teams. I guess we get to see what Highsmith does, and then you find out then if you're going to pay Bud Dupree next year if he's a Steeler. And it's an unfortunate circumstance that they may now have fallen into. So anyways, Mike Tomlin was upset about this game, Brian. I mean, his demeanor was not happy. He was very PO'd. So I guess, I don't know. I always kind of feel comfortable watching these games, and you kind of feel they're always gonna pull it off, and they're always gonna do what they need to do. But at some point here too, I was just like, man, if they lose to a Baltimore Ravens team that has like 20 people out, it's time to burn down towns, riot, and everything else because it's ridiculous. And in my opinion, it would have been because they gave them all of this time to prepare.
Yeah, the problem is the logic with they had all this time to prepare my question is, did they? Did they really? Because it was never, this is it. We're done. Now you know what we're doing. It was always, well, right now we're going to do this. Maybe we're going to do that. Maybe. The Steelers, I think Brooke Pryor, I think she tweeted out the Steelers, or maybe it was Aditi, I don't know which one. Somebody tweeted this out during the game that, while one team got to practice, the Steelers, they actually only had one full practice.
Yeah.
One, because
they
didn't know what the hell they were doing.
Exactly. And
this lack of knowledge is a problem. And so did they really have time to prepare? And did they even know who the hell they were preparing for? As of yesterday, all the reports were going to be that Dobbins was going to play, Ingram was going to play because they were going to be available. They just had to fly in, and then they don't play. So, I don't know.
Yeah, and somebody's going to say, Calais Campbell, this and that. The Steelers had their own injury issues too, Devin Bush and guys like that. I mean,
the Pouncey one was huge. That was a big problem.
The Pouncey one was a big problem.
That was a big
and James
problem.
Conner as well, going on the COVID list, also did not help. Although I thought Benny Snell did okay. Brian, the offense, they just refused to run the football, and I don't know.
They're not going to. Stop. They're not going to.
They're not going to. I don't think it's because they can't. I just think it's because they won't.
They're not going to. Yeah. They don't want to. I kind of get it. Look, that offensive line's no longer designed for running. It's designed for pass protection. Ben never gets sacked. Never gets sacked. It's been 100 million years since Ben got sacked. So, what is it, like 188 or after this game, 4,027 dropbacks? I don't know.
It's a lot because they didn't get to him today either.
Yeah.
Ben, he said he didn't play well. He still completed 70.6% of 51 passes attempted in this game, many of which were dropped by Eric Ebron, Deontay Johnson, specifically. Yeah. Those two guys today.
They had some Butterfingers.
Oh, man, Butterfingers. They're lucky a couple of those weren't picked. That's why he goes. And Joe Reuter with the Trib. He's been banging the drum for James Washington. He gets in there,
grown ass man, farm boy man. Yeah,
and those big hands, man. I don't know if he catches bricks like Jerry Rice used to, but it sure looked like it, man. Zach Banner had said something to the effect too of, did your butthole twitch a little bit when you saw that pass? And I'm like, yeah, everybody was turtle heading it there just a little bit. It was ugly.
Yeah, turtle head.
It was ugly. All right.
Now, I said this to somebody else on Twitter. Stop giving me images I can't get out of my head.
Well, paid attendance of 0 for this game. Wind chill was 27 with a temperature of 36 degrees at kickoff. Ronald Torbert and his crew We're going to have some things to say about these guys. Just about everybody except for Coyle, who got called up, the additional lineman, and Mason Rudolph get into this game. The inactives here, just so you know, were Josh Dobbs, Antoine Brooks, Jalen Samuels, Jaron Elliott, and Kevin Rader, my guy, the tight end, was out on this. Steelers got to defer and get the ball for the second half. Another one of my favorite things. And the Ravens are the ones who get the ball first, and it certainly looked good with a 3-and-out just to start.
Yep.
And then, of course, the Steelers get a 3-and-out as well. So you're right over to Robert Griffin with a fumbled exchange of the ball there. Vince Williams and Robert Spillane both on top of it like a fly on stink. And then the Steelers starting to try and do some stuff, and they get down there on Baltimore's 1-yard line with a nice little drive. And what the heck is this, man? It's just terrible. That's what I'm going to say. Terrible. They started from the 22. Snell runs for 2. You had a 13-yard pass to Snell. Snell runs for 1. Goes to Ebron for 1. Goes to Ebron for 4. And neither of those situations was Ebron. It's like you're trying to give it to him and expect him to just bulldoze in. And I'm not getting the sense that he's the guy to do that.
No, I don't really Ebron's better stretching the field and being open down the middle, which apparently is not a thing anymore.
Well, it would have been if your name's Derek Watt, which is what happens.
Yeah, exactly.
Play. Derek Watt's wide open, and if you're playing Madden or something, you would have saw he didn't see the button. He was looking everywhere else for these hot routes. Doesn't look at the
didn't see him.
Man.
Yep. And so for the folks on Twitter who were saying Ben stared him down and just didn't throw it to him, he didn't. He didn't see him. He never looked at him. No, his head was the opposite direction. By the time he turned back to him, he was covered.
So intercepted. How do you feel about
throws.
the 4th and 1?
Bad throw. That was
that was an awful throw trying to force something.
Force something. Throw it out of bounds and just let him have it there. I don't care.
It didn't make much of a difference. They end up with the ball on the 6. I wasn't so. It didn't bother me so much as if you're going to do this and be aggressive and try and score. So be it.
Make a better throw. I understand who he was trying to hit. Somebody coming across the back, but it was just a bad throw. But I don't mind them being aggressive. Look, they should have been aggressive. If they're playing well, which they didn't. This is a team they should have put a lump of points on. They had no problems moving the ball. That wasn't the issue. For the most part, they were able to do that. The problem was when they got in the red zone or on critical downs, they flubbed it. Whether that's credit to the Ravens. And let's not forget, at least up until a certain point of the game, the Ravens did have their starting secondary in, which is a very good secondary. Let's not take anything away from those guys.
And they were trying to get that ball, man.
Oh, man, were they ever. And the refs were certainly being helpful in that. What? This is a whistle? What is a whistle? Oh, that he's still trying to run.
He's going backwards. There's not forward. What do you call that?
It's reverse progress. We got to stop it. Only when reverse progress has been stopped. Then we'll blow. Oh, I guess we should blow the whistle. They gave them so many seconds of attempting to get that ball out. I was ready to, drive to Pittsburgh and kick them all square in the nets.
Could have did that too. There's I shouldn't say this on the program. I know which gate everybody goes in and out of there. I'll just leave it at that. It's not one that's marked for public entrance. So,
there you go.
But we know where to wait, Brian. We'll be there with our baseball bats.
Yeah.
I'll show them some Youngstown style there. Anyways, Steelers 22 first downs to the Ravens 10. I'll get to some other team stats after this. So, there's nothing going on here yet. And then all of a sudden you have Joe Hayden with the pick 6.
Nice.
Second of his career, first as a Steeler. Excellent play. I'm losing my stuff over here. And then Chris Boswell misses on what was formerly the open end on the extra point. So now it's 6-0. You're like, man, it's like just what you need to do is let this team hang around. You've already blown one opportunity, one trip to the red zone. You've come away with no points. And now you've blown the extra point Justin Tucker can equal this from maybe 50-ish. That's all I'm thinking in my head is the field position battle.
Yep.
Coming into this, and everybody was talking about RG3 beat the Steelers. The last time the Steelers lost a game was against RG3. And I'm like, yeah, last time Steelers lost that game, too, they were without, well, pretty much, I started
most
thinking
of the people who played,
most of the people who weren't there today. Well, when Pouncey went out, then that's when I started thinking that like later. But yeah, Maurice Jones-Drew running his yapper on the NFL Network, and then he brought up Willie Snead, who
that little midget
COVID list. Yeah, mental midget maybe. I don't know if that's appropriate to say or not.
No,
but
I'm just gonna say he's not bright.
That's fine. I'm going to stop while I'm ahead.
He's a tiny bowling ball man who's not bright.
Ravens get the ball back, and they've been getting decent field position on their special teams for whatever reason. Get the ball at their 33. You had DJ Fluker called for the hold here. They're doing real well. You had Cam Hayward literally like one-arm shove Robert Griffin to the ground.
I need a grown-ass man sign so that when you say those things, I can just hold it up.
It was a finger poke of doom. My wrestling fans out there will know.
I don't know what that
I'm
means.
About. Well, there was a famous situation.
I don't want to know.
Hulk Hogan poked the guy, and he acted like he got shot with a shotgun, fell to the ground, pinned him in a big swerve type thing, and won a title. And it was a big thing that people weren't happy about. And it's still kind of crappy to this day to even talk about the finger poke of doom. That's what Cam Hayward did to Robert Griffin. But it was more like the grown-ass man poke of doom. So,
yes, there you go. Now you got my attention again.
Yeah. And Sam Cook punts. Always a good punter. Always good special teams guys, obviously, with hairball. It's about the one thing you can say. He's a former special teams coach. So anyways, Ray,
he did not have a day.
And I didn't want to see him play with the ball the way he did. And fumbles, and they practically almost score right off of that. What are you going to do? You give them the ball at the 16. While they do have a false start because they have a patchwork offensive line, Justice Hill gets a little bit of that back. RG3 squeaks out for a first down. They're up at the 4-yard line. Gus Edwards eventually punches this in. Ravens are winning by a point, 7-6 after the extra point by Justin Tucker. So naturally, the Steelers are going to come back and answer with a 12-play, 73-yard drive where they're down at the Baltimore 5, and Benny Snell loses 2 yards. Ben Roethlisberger has an incomplete pass to Chase Claypool. Actually, I think that might have been the one.
Should have been caught.
Yeah. There was a couple, and then there was a couple that were good plays, and then you also had Chris Collinsworth at one point saying you should let him play.
Don't know who you're talking about.
Forearmed Claypool like off the ball without even looking back. And I was like, let him play.
There is whoever that person is you just said. I'm never speaking his name again. There's a void in my life that is his size because I have developed the ability to tune him completely out. As soon as I hear the non-dulcet tones of his annoying voice, my brain just goes to a happy place, and I have no idea what is being said. I ignore him completely. It's like he's not even on the broadcast anymore. It's wonderful.
And then third down, you have Deontay Johnson, an incomplete pass. So Chris Boswell, the chip shot 25-yarder that you didn't know was necessarily a guaranteed thing after missing the PAT. 9-7, exactly what you thought it was going to be with a few minutes elapsed into the second quarter. Steelers defense again all over things. Justice Hill runs for a negative 1-yard gain, short pass to Hollywood Brown. RG3 gets sacked by TJ Watt here. One of these was Watt imposing his will and basically feeding him to some other guys that were there too, like I think Dupree and Cam Hayward. Man, I can't even mention Dupree's. I'm going to be in tears if this guy is seriously hurt.
I've been monitoring the Twitter feed, Twitterverse, and it don't read good.
Yeah, I don't want to read it then. Don't rain on my parade. So Steelers give another drive. They come up here, and it's just, okay, Benny Snell goes for 7 yards, 1st and 10, because this is Randy Fichtner. On first downs, we tend to run the ball. And you know what? There's breakdowns on this. I did this with Tina Rivers, our managing editor here. I don't know that I broke this down with you. it was like first down was like a 50-50 split with the Steelers, and then it's not a split at all for second and third down. It's so predictable. It's all in the stats right there on the site too. I'll have to pull it up. Maybe we'll talk about that later. Pass, 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 pass. Another Chris Boswell field goal from the Baltimore 9. They didn't run the ball at all again. 13 plays, 12 passes. Okay, I understand you went 65 yards with this. You're doing some dink, dunk, and chunks here. But what's the success thing that we always talk about with the Steelers? 20, 25 touches with the backs. You got to get the ball in their hands.
Or do you? I don't know. I've given up. I've been beaten into submission over this point because these short passes that Ben gets off are runs. That's essentially what they are. And as I said earlier, this offensive line is simply not designed to run block. You get Kevin Dotson in there, and all of a sudden that changes. But when he's not playing, this offensive line is not designed to run block. And they just aren't built for it anymore. They're built for pass protection. And so I've given up. I've given up on the concept. You're absolutely right. Your point is correct. In order for those running backs to get going, they need those touches. But they also need people who can open holes. And they aren't doing it.
But Brian, they still got like 4 of the 5 guys they had last year.
They ain't doing it anymore. They are not doing it.
I mean, I know they didn't really do it last year either, but they also didn't have Roethlisberger. So the Ravens get this ball all the way down to the Steelers 4, and they burn a timeout on a running play. Their final timeout. And they'd burned a timeout earlier, I think, on it was that first drive. Hold on, I got to go back now. No, because it was something where they used the timeout. Hold on, I'm looking for it. I thought I had it, and I was thinking to myself, this is where this begins. So watch, I can't find it now. Of course, I can't find it. This is going to drive me crazy. Let's see. Timeout number 1, Baltimore, 2:58. First quarter, this was from the Steelers' 4-yard line. They had an extra tackle guy come in, report as eligible. Justice Hill, that was the one where he went. They got it up to the 1-yard line. Gus Edwards punched it in. So that's where they used it at that particular moment. Not entirely sure if I know why they burnt the timeout there. Maybe they had too many guys on the field, wrong personnel, something of that nature. But that's what kind of sets up what happens here. Because then they used on the very they have a few plays here. They get to the 2-minute warning, and immediately after the 2-minute warning, they have an incomplete pass to Hollywood Brown, and they burn their second timeout. And it's like, you take a timeout, So, of course, now it's unfair with Harbaugh burning his last one. Unfair that when you run a running play and have to use your final timeout, and then you run another running play at the 1 and you don't get in, and then, the Steelers are laying on the ball and this and that. Let's rewind. Let's rewind a little bit. Oh, yeah, definitely crying. Do you remember the drive before where the Steelers started the whole no-huddle thing? This is the drive that ended in the field goal. And it was, well, here's Derek Wolfe laying on the field. Here's another guy laying on the field. Here's another guy. Turnabout's fair play, Mr. Harbaugh. You're going to have your guys lay on the field and stall the no-huddle offense because you're unprepared for this game and you're playing with whatever warm bodies you got left and it's been delayed. As long as you've tried to get it delayed, more than likely trying to get it. I also heard that they had there was rumors of them maybe striking or threatening a strike.
Yeah, for the Tuesday version of this game, yeah.
And they wanted, I guarantee you what they wanted.
They wanted Week 18. That's what they wanted.
So there could be 8 playoff teams and they have a better chance of getting in, which would more than likely play the 1 seed who's going to be either more than likely us or Kansas City. More than likely.
Yep.
So
one of those two, probably.
Yeah. And I hate to break it to the Ravens fans. You get in, your odds aren't good against either the Steelers or the Chiefs at this point. Hasn't been for a while. So what'd you think about all that? I mean, I didn't necessarily see Vince Williams. Could he have been gaming a little bit, a little sportsmanship there?
Did they do it Sure. Was it so egregious that a penalty should have been called? I don't know.
I don't think so.
It's not one that you ever really see get called either. It's not. It's very rare that somebody is so I mean, it takes a while to unpile a scrum. That's part of it. But, Vince has got somebody on his legs, so he's not moving until that person gets off his legs. That's fine. If he laid there after that, fine. Then they throw the delay of game penalty. I don't know. The refs stink. I'm so aggravated with the refs and their stinkedness. I don't know. They just stink.
Well, we got to rewind back to, and Noah brought this up, and I noticed it as well, was the fourth down. The 4th and 1, I think, where Ben threw the pick. The referee's standing right behind Hassenauer, arms out. We didn't get the reset of the play clock, and Ben rushes that play.
Yeah.
Later on, they reset the play clock, and then they were talking about how Ben didn't allow another 12 seconds to burn or whatever he had, 19 seconds, whatever it was, while the clock was
trust
running.
that they're doing it, yeah.
Yeah, it's no, he got fool me once, you know what I mean? So that was something else that occurred earlier there in the game that I think flew under the radar for a lot of people. You had the very first play of the third quarter after the half here with the Steelers up 12-7, 5 points. Got to make you a little nervous. Chase Claypool get absolutely mugged by Marlon Humphrey. They should let him play. Yeah, okay.
I don't know who said that.
I don't know.
That human being doesn't exist in my world.
I know a lot of people out there listen to the Bill Hillgrove and Tunch on the radio, but when it's out of sync, or if you're a cord cutter like me, then you get the play ahead of time.
Yeah,
I actually got
hard.
I got the instant replay call off of Steelers Twitter. They kind of forget they're in the press box. When you're live there in the stadium, I've been guilty of this. Usually by the time my fat thumbs are done typing it, I'm maybe not spoiling some of the folks at home, provided you're on an antenna or on satellite TV cable. If you're streaming it like Sunday Ticket TV or something like that, then you're kind of screwed. You're almost always like a play or two behind. Or if it's like ESPN, if you're using one of the TV streaming services, it sucks being somebody that's out of the Steelers region if you don't get it over the air. It's not a nationally televised game at 3:40 because of the Rockefeller Center tree lighting. So, of course, that was way more important to go on.
Oh.
So they go on it for a 4th and 2 from the Baltimore 37. I'm okay with this, other than the fact of, here's the problem. These guys have forgotten, even if you're not going to run the ball, 4th and short, if you're not going to run it, if I'm playing defense and you empty the backfield, now what do I have to worry about? Ben running it?
No.
There's no guessing to it. There's no guesswork, and they've done this a few times, and this was just this was really forced by Ben trying to get it to Claypool, and it didn't work out there, and they turn it over on downs. And, I mean, the defense ends up getting their job done, but by the time they do it, when they get the ball back, they have it on their own 4-yard line. And it's just like, man, this is not going anywhere. I will say Jordan Berry at least had, I think, a pretty solid game, helping with the field position. And overall,
I'm still convinced he's getting tested.
He's going to need tested. And the defense here, they keep doing it, Brian. RG3 sacked by TJ Watt. You had Edwards minus 2 yards. Justice Hill. This is where I'm going to shoot the shot again. If it wasn't for Trace McSorley getting in and getting a little scamper run or the one big RG3 run, my prediction holds true. 129 rushing yards, Baltimore offense. I said if they would have held him under 120, that would have been the fewest of the season. I was off by 10 yards because they would have needed 119.
Yep.
It's like missing the lotto by 1 digit, man.
Here's the thing, and they kept harping on this on the broadcast. Oh, they've just figured out how to run on the Steelers. And I tweeted this, and I'm sure you saw it. Yes, there's no secret for how the Ravens run on the Steelers, especially this particular game. You cheat. You hold every single play. Yes. Every single play. Not even that, hidden. You watch it. Go back and watch it. Every single play, there is something that could be called. Now, they say that all the time. They say, oh, you can call holding on every play. And they're pretty much right. You can. And they don't. And part of the reason they don't is because most of them are at least somewhat, disguised. You keep your hands in. You may have the jersey, but you're inside the shoulder pads. It's not as blatant. And they tend to only call the blatant ones. Well, they didn't even call them half the time. I mean, yes, TJ got one, but man, there's at least 3 or 4 others where he's got a offensive lineman on his back because he's been tackled to the ground, and it's no call. It's insane how bad that was. And I just can't. I cannot stomach these referees any further. And I am getting my Festivus pull, and I'm seeking out them all and beating them to death.
I've got mine over in the other room. I should just get up and go get it. Well, I'll bring it. I'm going to bring it out. Not for the pregame that'll be coming up. We may have a special guest. I have something.
Wait,
something.
There you go.
Uh-oh. I know he's got one because I sent him one a few years ago for Festivus. Oh, okay, Kill Bill, the samurai sword, or he's yeah. You're just not going to get your samurai sword signed by Randy Jackson.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah, I know. You don't like Will Ferrell. It's Step Brothers quote. Anyway, everybody else, that used to be the criteria to be part of Steel City Underground. You had to have watched and quoted Step Brothers.
I didn't. Maybe I'd like it. I can't watch it because Will Ferrell makes me more annoyed than that other guy.
John C. Reilly. He's like
I like him. I like him.
Like, you know what?
I like John C. Reilly.
We're right below that when it comes to the buddy stuff.
I'm talking about the guy that was on this broadcast that I can't talk about. That's how much Will Ferrell annoys me.
Well, we got your play that was overturned by Al Covidron. And
Covidron.
There's something in the water or something going on there. I swear to you, I was going to say, my thought process there was if this would have been a turnover that was reviewed, it would have definitely went to the Ravens, and there was no way that the Steelers were going to get this play in their favor. But as 2020 goes, everything's upside down, raining cats and dogs, singing together, all that stuff. So
yes, Mr. Murray.
Yes. So mass pandemonium, mass chaos. Anyway, that was a smart challenge because that goes from being a 3rd and 10 to a 3rd and 5. Deontay Johnson, who they continue to get in space, it just feels like he's going to break one at any time. They got the Claypool machine going here. Steelers get all the way down to the Baltimore 1-yard line and a short little pass. Tight window.
Juju.
Ben was not the problem tonight, folks. 70%. Even the guy you don't like said he should have been like 85% if people had caught some. These balls were money.
There are a lot of balls that were on. Not every. Don't say every because there's a couple of balls that the pass to I think it was to Ebron. One of those
knees.
The one to Deontay at his knees. Another one to Deontay over his head. That they still should be caught. Don't get me wrong. These are balls that are catchable, but he wasn't perfect. But there were more drops than there were bad passes.
Hey, 85% isn't perfect. That would be 100%, my friend. So I'm with you on that one.
No such thing.
Steelers defense just keeps getting it done. Now they're up 19-7. No, not quite a 3-and-out here. You get the illegal formation and then given right back by Alou on the neutral zone infraction. And for the most part, the Steelers' coverage was fairly solid throughout the day. But they just, on offense, I felt like they were starting to get something going here with about 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter. And Ben is connecting. Now it's pass, Benny Snell, pass to Deontay Johnson, pass to Juju, pass to Claypool, pass to Juju, pass to Claypool. It's like 6 straight completions. Then an incomplete that should have been caught. Eric Ebron, bump. All the difference in this game because now Trace McSorley comes in. I'm not even sure Trace McSorley had even practiced or done anything because he was on the COVID list. And this is another one of these situations. How can these quarterbacks come in and have success? Well, there's no film on them. Duck Hodges had success too because there wasn't film on him last year.
This was just a bad play. I mean, it happens.
Well,
just a bad play.
Well, this wasn't it yet.
Oh, no, not yet.
McSorley, no, not yet. The Steelers still get a punt out of this. Baltimore gets about maybe a handful of plays here, a few incompletes. They did convert. This was the little almost like an option play where we bootlegged out all the way toward the sideline sweep.
He's very slow in comparison, by the way. That was not a fast developing play.
It wasn't a fast developing play, but for 2 yards, it was enough to get.
It was plenty,
to stretch the Steelers defense. So Steelers go 3 and out on this next play. Baltimore starts from their 16. Alex Highsmith gets cut in the neutral zone. He's in there, I think, at this point for Bud Dupree because Bud Dupree came up short trying to get McSorley, I think, just a play or two earlier during that other sequence. And that's when we saw him laying on the ground, and you're just like, man, I'm hoping it's not the worst. So McSorley finds Hollywood Brown. It looks like Joe Hayden was ready to pick that off. Jumps the route. Miscalculates it. Terrell Edmonds, who's there, it's in between the zones. It's where you try and put it. And both guys swing and a miss and a bad play, and that's how you end up with a 70-yard touchdown. And it's a 5-point game once again.
It's just a bad play.
I mean, it doesn't end my world. They're professional football players still. And
look, I wasn't worried. Even at that point, I wasn't worried. I wasn't worried that this offense of the Ravens was going to somehow find a way to come back and win the game. I wasn't worried about it. I was worried they might get a chance, but I wasn't worried they'd succeed.
More worried myself is that Ben was going to make some reckless pass, or one of these guys was going to bobble one and was going to go in the air and give them more of an opportunity to score, maybe even off of Tucker's foot. Even to the point, if you take this from 5 down to 2 and then you stall again on offense, at this point, I understand there was like maybe 4 minutes left in the game. You stall on offense, something like that. That's where I was more or less concerned. Well, there's 3 minutes now with this big play. And this is where you had Deontay Johnson get the ball punched out by Marlon Humphrey, another punch out. Both of them, luckily, end up out of bounds.
Yep.
So there's another reason why Mike Tomlin's probably a little miffed. Got some ball security issues they're going to have to work on here. The aforementioned Ben Roethlisberger, they bring James Washington in now finally. And James Washington gets a 3-yard pass thing. Ben goes to him right again in between like 3 guys, 16
maybe
yards.
Even 4.
Maybe the whole team.
Yeah, maybe everybody. It might have been all 11 of them. I don't know.
Just grown. But now Harbaugh is going to use his timeouts. And the Steelers end up getting the first down. They have the 2-minute warning sandwiched in here. Harbaugh uses it before that. You had Benny Snell picking up some chunks, 13 and 7. Then he gets 2.
And don't gloss over that. Don't gloss over that. Don't gloss over that Marcus Peters stiff arm.
Oh, I'm not gonna gloss over that. It's kind of sad that he tripped up. And
joy.
Then you had
joy.
to go. Yeah, right before the 2-minute warning. And he gets credited with the tackle. It's like he lost his feet.
He tackled he got tackled. That's what he got. He got shoved down. He got said, "Sit down, little boy." That's what Benny Snell did to that man.
That was some vintage Le'Veon Bell on Drake
Patrick. That was exactly that. Yeah.
And everyone was hyped. So you give Snell the ball again, 3rd and 1, and they bring out the sticks, Brian. I'm sick of this. A caveman brought out sticks in order to build fires. Why are we still using the sticks and the chain?
It's tradition, man.
Oh, man. I'm tired of tradition. Like, this has got to be better. You've heard me talk about cameras. You've heard me talk about the eagle eye system with tennis. You've heard me talk about goal line technology in soccer. They got to do something better than this. You can't do this with cameras already.
They'd have to refit. They have to refit something. I don't know. They got to do something to get the lasers and pointers and things all the way they need to go.
I think you and I could probably build something out of PVC and 3 or 4 GoPros for around a G, and stand it right there on the sideline, and probably get a pretty accurate. You probably have to put a level on it too to make sure you're parallel. But see, that's the thing. You have that type of technology too, where you could take it straight across the field. I think it should be far enough. They use electronic gates in all types of track and field.
Yeah,
horse racing
should be able to be done.
Horse racing. How do you get the finish? They've been doing that since they invented the camera. It's just it drives me nuts.
Yeah, you just put you have to put a chip in each. I don't know. They're not doing it, so they're not doing it.
I don't know. Maybe it unnerves me. Now I'm happy with the way that this review ends up going because it means the Steelers do not have to punt. And now you're going to take a snap with 37 seconds remaining for a victory formation. So, man, Brian likes to play on the video. I'm sorry, folks. So, anyways, that's it. Victory formation.
Victory formation.
Ugly.
And there's another example. Again, proof that Al Riveron has COVID. How'd they get that first down? If it went to replay, how'd they get that first down? No, that can't have happened. Can't have happened.
Did you notice something a little more interesting on those plays by chance after the 2-minute warning?
I don't know.
I'm going to give you a little hint. Let's start with the beginning of the drive at the end of the third quarter. Ben Roethlisberger is, let me see, shotgun on the pass to Juju. They get the ball back again. Shotgun, punt. Okay, now you have Benny Snell right tackle, Benny Snell right end, shotgun. Okay, Steelers get the ball back. Shotgun, 2-minute warning. Benny Snell left guard. Ben went under center 4 times in like 2 of those drives finally, and they ran the ball decently on both of those times versus let's hand it to him in the backfield and see if he can get up the speed. It's not the patience, the Marcus Allen style, Le'Veon Bell style, and it's not the James Conner lightning in a bottle where he hits the hole pretty fast, in my opinion. I think Benny Snell is more of a thumper plotting type of guy. I think it worked with McFarland a little bit better today in that regard. But Ben under center, we don't see very often, and particularly with the news center. That was my one observation there. But anyways, a W is a W. Sorry, I'm playing with my toys over here too. I got this guy's shaking his head and saying yes, it's a win. I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll take
any win. Any ugly, it doesn't matter. It could be fugly. It could be double fugly and slap your mother ugly. I don't care. A win is a win.
Worst 11-0 team I've ever seen because, there's only been like a dozen of them, and some of these people weren't alive to see half of those teams. So just...
And that's just silliness. I got to say something. Have you ever tried this stuff?
What is it?
Ken's Boom Boom Sauce.
Boom Boom Sauce. Look like a K-cup. Don't put that in the Keurig.
This is the greatest thing ever.
No, but I know you're waiting to eat. I stuffed my face before we got on here, so I had some teriyaki sauce, local wing place. So the good stuff, man, the good stuff. You do the wings, Brian?
I do. I do them. I don't care. I don't care what they are.
Right.
I'm all about the heat. I'm all about the heat. And if it's not hot, I don't want them because it's lame.
Yeah, I'm not so much. I'll do the dry rub.
I want the snot running and the eyes watering and it can't breathe, and I want that, and I never get it, and it annoys me.
I have to take you back to my old hometown sometime. There's a good place with some hot peppers, some of the best. I'm not a hot pepper guy, but I remember being a kid, and my uncle held one under my nose, and it was after a cold college football game. We were outside around this type of weather, and I remember it opened the passages and made my eyes water just sniffing the pepper.
Here, I'll tell you a quick story. I was I used to have to go down to Houston all the time for work, right? And there's a place down there where the guys would take us out to dinner. It's a Hooters-esque place. I didn't know that at the time. I think used to be some TV show that had it. That's it. Yeah. And I thought it was
I've heard.
Restaurant. I'm an idiot. What can I tell you? I'm very naive about these things sometimes. So they take me there, and of course it's not. It's just a bunch of ladies dressed scantily flirting with the customers. But they had ghost pepper wings. And everyone there was like, you can't eat these. No one can eat these. These are the hottest things in the world, ghost pepper wings. I ate like 4 plates of them.
Oh, my goodness.
and
You
I
got
was
an
fine.
atomic stomach. You're a grown ass man yourself.
Yeah, I couldn't eat 4 plates of them anymore because I would get full after a couple. But that's because I'm smaller now.
Well, you're also smaller, and you don't want to have to replace your toilet ever again.
Oh,
So.
oh yeah. Look, I could take it going down, but man, you pay for it coming out. There's no question about it.
One way or the other, right? So,
Oh yeah.
Well, I guess there's going to be some criticism, third down defense, but the Steelers held them on 3 for 13.
It's not bad.
23%.
Look, the defense did their job. I don't have a lot of complaints.
Red zone. It's the offense that went 1 for 4.
Yeah, the offense was not good today.
Not sharp there in those type of situations. 334 yards though, 71 offensive plays. Ravens only ran 49. Should keep the defense fresh. Although now they may be down another starter, and you hope the depth there. You hope the depth there is good enough. I saw Ola make one heck of a special teams play earlier in the game too. I think that was it was a James Prochet. Maybe that was returning. It was on the punt. I know he's a kick returner. I can't remember if he was the punt returner too on that. And I mean, just stopped him in his tracks. And
the boys are going to have to step up. Yeah, Mr. Highsmith and Mr. Ola, whatever they had him. I can't say his last name. Oli, and whatever you just said. And they're going to have to step up. It's just the way it is. Next man up, man.
It's the fewest points that they've scored all year, and 6 of those by virtue of Joe Hayden. They left a lot of points on the table. They should have easily had their 26-28 or whatever. This
should not have been as close as it was. Look, Juju probably said it best. Juju has a post-game quote where he said, "They fielded a JV team, and we didn't play well. This shouldn't have been this close." And he's right. They fielded a JV team. They had some capable guys. Don't get me wrong. There's some talented players out there, but for the most part, this team was terrible. And they should have crushed them. They didn't, and maybe this was the impetus for Mike Tomlin to unleash hell in December.
Yeah,
I'm sure it kind of got unleashed in the locker room a little bit.
Yeah, and they're not saying that they played great. They're not beating their chest. They're not saying they're undefeated. They are not happy with even being 11-0. So keep feeding,
which is good.
Keep feeding the fire. Yep. Yeah, because then you know what? They're not going to overlook Washington, and on a short week, they don't have enough time to overlook.
They can't.
So
they better play better in that game. That's all I can say.
Yeah, and not only that, so long as they walk out of that with a W, I think they're going to have a lot of fire under their butts to go up to Buffalo and shut them up for what happened last year. And that's just my opinion. So the last closing thought here, Brian, before we go here, and we'll be back around. We did this a week ago. Now we're going to be back around in 2 days, I guess.
Yeah.
For a Monday night game now, and a lot of people, here's the deal: the top team in the NFL is the Steelers because they're 11-0 and nobody's beating them.
Correct.
It's you can't say stats or anything else. This is the record. Their record is 11-0. So you're going to say, well, the Kansas City Chiefs, this and that or whatever. Well, the Chiefs have had some ugly games too. They beat the Chargers in overtime by 3. One of their lower scoring games. They only put 23 on them. And what's another one that stands out here? Carolina Panthers.
They lost to the Raiders.
And yes, they lost to
and
the Raiders.
Almost lost to the Raiders twice.
The Raiders shot themselves in the foot badly in that game. And then the Buccaneers were ready to come back too. So these have been competitive games. Are the Chiefs wearing down a little bit?
Yeah, I just have to do this. I have no choice. Because Derek Carr posted this on to the next one, weird, creepy-ass looking video or picture, like, "I'm Mr. Tough Guy. I'm Satan coming to get you." And then he stunk. He flat out stunk. You can't post that kind of crap. Go away. I'm tired of hearing about how Derek Carr is elite. He's the new Joe Flacco. The hell with him.
And we've talked about this. Who are the Steelers? They look at who they play. Well, the Chiefs' schedule isn't too far off here. Texans, same guys. Chargers, Tyrod Taylor, was he playing in that game or not? I don't remember.
Don't
remember.
Original
starter. They punctured him in the lung. Maybe he got replaced right before that. I'd have to look. I don't know. They play the Ravens. Okay. Steelers don't have the Patriots or Raiders. You got some divisional things there, or playoff teams there. Buffalo's on the schedule too. Broncos were on the schedule. Jets, no.
No,
Worst
yeah, we
team
don't
in
get that
football.
gift.
Absolute
We don't get
worst
that
team
gift.
Got the second worst team in football. Okay,
Yeah.
Carolina, so. Raiders and Buccaneers. But they also have the Broncos, the Dolphins. They have the Saints, and then the Falcons. And
Do
then
they have the
Chargers.
Dolphins left?
Yeah, those are the teams they have left. So
good.
I know
Good.
entering the week, their opponents actually had more losses than the Steelers' opponents did. So when you're talking about strength of schedule, I get it.
Look,
I get it that they put up a lot of points, but in a lot of these games, they're in the same situation where they're putting up 20-ish, and the Steelers have put up 30-ish here or there, spotty. It's going to be a slugfest, and they're two very good football teams right now. So when people get into that speculation, I just needed to bring that up because somebody's definitely going to bring that up. And it's
they've been bringing it up all day.
Yeah,
they've been bringing it up all day. And look, I get it. Chiefs are the Super Bowl champs. You want to be the best? You got to knock them off their perch. I get it. But right now, who has the best record? Steelers do. No question about it. You can't argue about it. You can't even make good, valid comparisons that the Chiefs have had a harder schedule because they haven't. And so you can't. But I understand. You want to be the best, you got to beat the best. And last season, Kansas City was the best, and they're still an excellent team. Do I think the Steelers are the best? Of course I do. Look at me. Look at my room. Of course I do. But
no way.
I get it.
You're not the least bit biased. They're completely objective, probably more than me usually. It all depends. Well, Brian, we gave all of the grown-ass man stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Washington, Snell, Hayward, all our usual.
Cam Hayward.
Yes, definitely.
Grown-ass man.
And wait till they
TJ
get
got
back.
one too.
So Tuitt should be
Yes.
coming off the list soon.
That's a benefit.
I don't think he was was he a positive test, or is he?
No,
just
I don't believe so. I believe he was a trace contact.
Now Connor's the guy that you're probably not going to have maybe until the Buffalo game.
Yeah,
So
probably.
he's going to miss the next one probably for sure, and Pouncey for sure, and Pouncey may miss the next two, which is a scary thought.
That's very scary.
Yeah, I did not think Hassenauer, but again, the guy found out he was going to be starting.
We'll see how much they're going to have to. They're going to have to help the guy. They're going to have to help the guy.
3:40 p.m. This should have been a
stupid.
big money game for primetime, and they just hit it.
Yeah, they let NBC dictate to them instead of them dictating to the networks, and that's fine. Whatever, sometimes you make compromises, but whatever.
All about the money, my friend. All about the money. So,
and I'm going to tell you this: I didn't get all my grievances out, but I'm going to hold my Randy Fichtner grievances until the pregame.
Well, we'll see if you can get some of those in. It might be the post game. We hope to have another special guest for you here shortly in a couple of days.
I forgot.
Yeah. Well, it might even be you. We'll see what ends up happening.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll see what ends up happening. So, Brian, thanks for joining me again, my friend.
Always a pleasure, especially when we're 11-0.
Oh, it's a pleasure. And the pleasure is all mine. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, folks, my name is Joe. His name is Brian. He's bringing the energy. I could do a little dance myself and encourage everyone out there to be safe, be good, and we'll catch you later.
We would like to thank you for listening and remind our listeners to follow us on social media and our website, www.steelcityunderground.com.